Hello, my friends. My name is Reverend Terry Allen Christian. I'm the author of a book called What Did Jesus Say? The 7 Messages from the Master. I'm coming to you today to give you an overview of all 7 messages. It's a one-of-a-kind book. It's got over 500 scriptures spoken only by Jesus to those who loved and followed him. They're composed into 7 messages, so you're walking down the beach hearing what Jesus had to say. There's no religious arguments in there. There's no religious opinions from me in there. It's just what Jesus was saying to those who loved and followed him. It's got easy to read print. It's in EPUB, Kindle, audiobook, paperback. So it's a one-of-a-kind book. But let me tell you the secret behind the book that very few people know because they weren't there. With everything worthwhile, there is a great struggle in behind it. So let me give you a real fast click through the years to understand the depth of this, and then the next video will start the message about what's in the book. It all begins when I was 23 years old. By that time, I was a high school dropout. I left a violently dysfunctional family at age 16. At 23, I stuttered so bad I could only say 5 words in a row without my tongue slapping the inside of my mouth and people laughing and making fun of me. I was in a near-death experience at Santa Monica Beach, California. In the depth of the darkness of my mind, I had a dream. In this dream, I saw the Spirit, the white light of Jesus, and I heard his voice. He said, "Do you want to stay here or do you want to go back?" And I said, "What would I do if I went back?" And all of a sudden I was in front of thousands of people and I was teaching what Jesus said. And he said, "One day you'll speak for me." I said, "I'll go back." Next thing you know, I woke up and that started my life at 23. I had only read 1 or 2 books by then. I wasn't raised to read books. I was raised to read magazines with girl pictures in them. Over the next 23 years, I would read over 500 books. I would do over 1,500 professional speeches, and I became a motivational speaker. At 46, the Spirit called me away, demanded that I fast and pray 1 day per year of my life. So I went into a purging fast and I fasted for 46 days. Just water, juice, decaf coffee, tea, no foods. It touched my life and transformed me like never before. I went on another 3 years in the motivational speaking, went to the top of my group. When I finally left at 49, I had done over 2,500 speeches throughout America and Canada, had the endorsements of 3 nationally, internationally known speakers, and I was called away to begin my ministry preparation in the book. I lived the good life, as one minister says. I lived in a beautiful home on a hill. I owned my own private limousine with a driver, a live-in maid. I got $2,500 an hour for local speeches, $5,000 an hour if I left town. It was everything I had wanted, and when I got to the top, the Lord called me away and I walked off and left it. That was year 2000. Year 2001, I was given the inside of the book. What did Jesus say? WDJS finally answers WWJD. What would Jesus do? So as I started this book, and the Lord said, only put in there what I said with no more added opinions. I said, okay. So from 2001 to early 2002, I worked on the book. The day I got up in 2002, January, to what I thought was the final edit and go on enjoying my life, my dad had a stroke and quickly died. My mother called me to go home. I didn't miss my dad. I didn't see him in 18 years, but I could hardly see my mom. So it was a joy to go and see her. So I dropped everything I was doing, moved back home with my mother, spent 3 years with her, surrounded her with 1,000 white lights for the last 1,000 years of her life. 1,000 days of her life, I mean. I was there when she passed away. I breathed in her last breath of air. I was her first son, her first child. She gave me my first breath of air. I stayed with her till 2005 when she died. Just before she died, I married a woman that I had known 20 years earlier. Her husband died and we got back together, and I thought my entire life was going to unfold, book and everything. Between 2005 and 2007, this marriage wasn't going very well. She was a rich woman, troubled in some ways that I would never know about. I got injured on her property, helping her sell her last piece of property, and her worst fear came together. She feared for years that somebody would get injured on her commercial property and sue her. That's the last time I saw her without a lawyer, was when she found out I got injured. So that's 2007. It would be 18 months before I could even walk without a cane. And then at the late 2008, I get an operation. I get right up and walk. I'm in video depositions for this divorce in early 2009. And I'm diagnosed with the worst case of bladder cancer the doctors had ever seen. They wanted to take the bladder out of my body, put it on the outside, change the rest of my life. I mean, I'd never been injured before. I'd never been ill before. I mean, never lost a day of work being ill, never canceled a speech on a 2,500 for being ill. Here I was injured. I got operation, but now I got cancer and a divorce. It was a very troubling time for me, contrary to anything I would ever expect. So now it's 2009. I finally get the divorce, but now I got bladder cancer, and they said I've got 3 to 5 years to live. That was a big wake-up call for my daughter and I. It just absolutely just rattled everything about me. I had to go pick up the book of Job just to come to terms with what is going on. Because I have this great calling by God. My whole life is devoted. What is going on? Did I do something wrong? In the book of Job, I found out something that most people don't know. And Job never knew. Job never knew that God approved of his testing. He could let Satan test him, but Satan could hurt him. Satan could hinder him, but Satan couldn't kill him. So then I realized, wow, I'm being tested. This is what this is all about. So in 2009, the divorce is over. So in 2010, November, I come down to a place called Negril, Jamaica, 7 Mile Beach, where I could walk the 7 Mile Beach. I didn't know anybody here. I came here and walked this beach. I was 59 at the time. I created what's called the Life Walk. I walked 1 mile per year of my life. I thought about my entire life, how this happened. I read everything Jesus said in the 4 Gospels about healing. I read what they said to him, what he said to them. I read about who couldn't get healed, who did get healed, and it transformed the quality of my life in a 21-day period called the Life Walk. I went back to see my doctors 3 months later. March 2011, they released me from the VA cancer-free. Never asked me how it happened, but I'm cancer-free. Now, the cancer's gone, but my body still is weakened from not walking for 2 years. I still have stress issues, but the cancer is gone. So that's a step in the right direction. So what happened? The next year, 2012, my book came out. That's 11 years later, I finally could self-publish the book. And what happened? The very moment I self-published the book, I had to have emergency throat surgery. And in the twinkling of an eye, I lost what was called at that time my Hollywood smile, my ability to talk. It just literally vibrated me. I lost my edge of health and vitality in this operation. It would be till 2015 before I could talk on camera again. So that was giving me a lot to ponder. So I finally got to talk again. I endured all that. The book's not selling, but I'm giving it away around the world on ebook. And I'm just collecting book reviews, but I don't feel healthy enough to move. Now, 2016, I ended up having a gallbladder surgery, some gallstones removed. 2017, I had a dental crisis. I was in a dental chair, 22 visits over a 6-month period. But in the end, they refreshed my teeth. They did everything I needed to return to be a professional speaker again. So I would say from about 2007 to 2017, I mean, 10 years of Job-like difficulty. So now it's 2018. I returned to Negril, Jamaica on my birthday, September 30th, 2018. I come here to work with the people, the locals, and help them and work online with Christians around the world. I am getting my health back. I went through one whole year, 2018 to 2019. I turned 68 now. I feel 48. And now I'm here to stay. It's like 7 years later from the throat surgery, 7 years from the book being released, and I'm healed and restored. And the book of Job is coming good to me now. In the end, Job got back twice as much as he started with. His friends returned. And I'm here to tell you that this book, I stayed true to this book, and this book will revolutionize your walk with Jesus. It'll make a difference. You will learn things that you have never thought about Jesus. You will never know how much Jesus said. You will find out in this book that he came from heaven, speak for God. He called God his Father. He said his words are filled with spirit and life. He said, abide in his words. That's the red letter words. He said, follow my example. I'm your teacher. Follow it. Luke 6:40, a disciple is not above his teacher, but is to be like his teacher. Jesus said, then he said, go out and make disciples of all nations, teaching them what I said to you. He said, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. He told us with God, all things are possible. The only great divisions we have in Christianity is done by man's religious opinions, trying to override and undo what Jesus said. So we need to take a good look at what he said, because most Christians don't know God wrote and released the 4 Gospels and Revelation after Peter and Paul died. So I just want to tell you from the heart, I'm here. I'm here online to help you. This book will impact your life, and I encourage you to get it. Visit our website, WDJSbook.com. You'll see a coupon there for the e-book package or a coupon there for the author package. Now I'm about to tell what's in the 7 messages. So the next 7 videos will be 5-minute vignettes of what is in there. But I want you to know this story I went through, all of it's very true. I am now happy. I am now restored. I am here to serve Christians. I am called to help. H-E-L-P stands for helping everyone live peacefully in Christ. If there's any way I can help you, you let me know. Just click on the link in this message on this YouTube video that you're seeing. And I want you to know, wherever you are in the world today, God loves you, and so do I. And with God, all things are possible all the time, wherever we are at any given moment. Goodbye for now.